The following is a general guide for standard practices regarding Essex 7-liter and 10-liter LOX converters. This training will focus on common troubleshooting procedures so that basic issues can be addressed in the field instead of returning those converters to the manufacturer for repair. Before beginning any of the following procedures, take time to become familiar with the risks associated with liquid oxygen. Never allow LOX to contact skin. Always wear appropriate personal protective equipment, also known as PPE. Be sure to keep LOX clear of ignition sources and contaminants. Never transfer LOX on asphalt. For more details on LOX precautions, handling, hazards, and properties, refer to your operator's manual. It is recommended to complete a general inspection on LOX converter units at least once a month. When performing general inspections, check the converter for any damage that could possibly affect the system performance, such as broken or missing components, severe dents, or missing fasteners. If any condition exists from the inspection that make the system unable to perform its intended function, return the system to Essex for corrective action. When cleaning of the units is required, it should be limited to external cleaning of the converter surface only. Make sure there is positive pressure on the system to keep contaminants out. To prepare for troubleshooting, purging, and testing 7-liter and 10-liter LOX converters, it is a good idea to first gather all of the required tools and equipment that will be needed for each procedure. Liquid oxygen converters are often returned to Essex for repair with conditions that occur during normal operations. Some conditions are common issues that may be corrected in the field. These include: a valve is stuck in the open position, erratic electrical readings are observed, a leak is suspected due to frost on the lines. Before returning a converter for any of these conditions, you should first troubleshoot the issue using the following procedures. If you suspect ice or foreign object debris, FOD, is present in the valve, first clear the fill port, then use a vent cap to clear it out, and to reseat the poppet in the valve. Quickly insert the vent cap into the valve, turn it clockwise, and then remove it. Repeat the process until the FOD is cleared. If this does not correct the issue, empty the unit of LOX and then perform a hot, dry nitrogen purge on the unit. After the nitrogen purge, refill the unit with LOX to see if the issue has been fixed. The LOX indicator may display negative values, more or fewer digits than normal, rapidly changing values. To troubleshoot, use spare cables first, if available. If erratic readings still occur, empty the unit of LOX and then perform a hot, dry nitrogen purge on the unit. After the nitrogen purge, refill the unit with LOX to see if the issue has been fixed. Frost on the lines can occur during normal operation. These are all examples of normal frost that can occur. If frost is excessive, empty the unit of LOX and then perform a hot, dry nitrogen purge on the unit. After the nitrogen purge, refill the unit with LOX to see if the issue has been fixed. If that does not correct the issue, complete a vented evaporation loss test, and if needed, a buildup evaporation loss test, as explained in the manual. If either of these tests are unsuccessful, return the unit to Essex. To perform a hot-dry nitrogen purge procedure, you will need the items contained in the liquid oxygen converter system purge kit. When purging 7-liter or 10-liter converters, ascertain that the unit has been drained and completely emptied of LOX. With the unit and purge heater positioned on a clean work area, connect the approved nitrogen source product equipped with a shutoff valve and regulator capable of controlling the supply pressure from 0 to 100 PSIG to the inlet of the purge heater. Note: only gaseous nitrogen conforming to Type 1, Grade A or B should be used as a source for purging. Open the gaseous nitrogen supply and adjust the pressure to 10 PSIG. Allow the purging gas to flow for 1 minute. Using the female filler adapter provided with the purge kit, connect the outlet of the purge heater to the converter fill port. With the purge kit circuit breaker switches in the off position, plug the power cable from the purge heater into an electrical outlet providing a source of 120 volts AC. Place the circuit breaker switches in the on position. After 10 minutes of operation, adjust the supply inlet pressure to approximately 55 PSIG. Note: when the outlet gas gets warmer than ambient, you can start timing the process. Continue to hot purge for a minimum of 45 minutes while the exhaust temperature is above ambient temperature. After completion of hot purging, turn the purge heater off and cold purge for a minimum of 15 minutes or until components have returned to ambient temperature. Disconnect the purge heater filler adapter from the converter fill port, trapping pressure inside the system. Note: the converter will not retain a positive pressure for an indefinite period of time. Depletion of this pressure does not signify an abnormal condition. Turn the purging gas source off, then disconnect and properly store all purging appliances. Replace the fill port dust cap. If a leak is suspected due to frost on the fittings or lines, and the purge procedure does not solve the issue, then you should perform a vented evaporation loss test. This will evaluate the ability of the converter container to retain liquid over a 24-hour period and should be done immediately after a unit is filled. Fill the converter to capacity with liquid oxygen. Note: make sure the 7-liter is oriented correctly when filling. Connect the vent cap to the filler port and allow the converter to remain undisturbed for 2 hours to let temperature stabilization occur. After the 2-hour stabilization period, weigh the converter and record the weight. Allow the converter to remain undisturbed for an additional 24 hours. After the 24-hour period, weigh the converter again and compare the difference in weights. The loss in weight should not exceed 3 pounds for the 24-hour period. If this test is unsuccessful, return the unit to Essex. If this test is successful, complete a build-up evaporation loss test to evaluate the ability of the unit's valves and plumbing to retain liquid over a 24-hour period. Remove the vent cap to allow the converter to build up pressure. Let the converter remain undisturbed for 2 hours. Repeat the weighing process as performed during the vented evaporation loss test. If this test is unsuccessful, return the unit to Essex. If this test is successful, the unit is functional and can be used. For more details on the proper inspection, maintenance, troubleshooting, and testing procedures for LOX converters, refer to your operator's manual. If you have additional questions, contact Essex Technical Support.